CNN, because there are ways to do that, covering stories that involve your family. And CNN seemed to have it out for him. I don't know the situation. I haven't delved into it. But the fact that he stood up for you in a controversial situation, didn't back away, I think speaks very well for him.
Yeah. Well, you're right. I think he was treated unfairly. And look, you're a journalist. You're also a family member. You also have a First Amendment right to speak about your opinion on a situation. And he was very clear, Bill, always to differentiate.
And if they didn't want him to do it, they could have just said, look, you just tell the audience that because of your family ties, you can't cover the story. I mean, that's all. And how many times has that been done?
Yeah,
a ton of
100%. 100%.
So anyway, I want to get that on a. So I beat him up enough that I have to give him a compliment from now and then.
Was that a compliment?
Yeah, it was. He's a stand-up guy for doing that. You know, I don't have a brother, but if I did, I'd like a brother like him.
Yeah.
Don't tell him that, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we are, and I'm surprised that the Democratic Party has gone so far left. Now, I'm not a party apparatchik. I'm a registered independent in New York. I don't follow party politics. I don't particularly care about them. I want problem solvers in office. But what I've seen, and you were 3 terms as governor here, you know, at the end you got a little left, but you were elected, as your father was, to be a moderate Democrat. Would that be accurate?
Yes, sir.
So what the hell happened?
Well, I am still a moderate Democrat. What happened to the Democrats is the Democrats lost, right, to Donald Trump, and then they became lost. This is a party in transition. This is a party with a simmering civil war. We're trying to figure out our identity as Democrats. And you have a far left, and you always had a far left. But this far left is much further left and is much louder and is much more aggressive. And they have frightened the moderates into submission. It's not that they're...
How do you do that, though? You're not frightened, are you?
No. But they threaten. If you are a moderate Democrat, they are going to primary you. And the extremes have always been very strong in the primary process, whether it was far right, Tea Party days, far left. In the primaries, they are very strong. And they are very open and aggressive and hostile. And if you are a moderate Democrat, they are going to come after you and they are going to challenge you. And they have a lot of money and a lot of organizations on the socialist side, on the communist side, on the anti-Israel side, and they have frightened the moderate Democrats into submission.
Okay. On the surface, that answer makes a lot of sense. But you went up against a communist, Mamdani, in your hometown, and he beat you. I was surprised. I thought you were going to wax him.
Yeah, well, look, but that is the point. You have, in the primary, the far left...
But it wasn't a primary. It was you, it was him, and it was Sliwa.
Well, in the general, let's get to the general.
But that's what I'm talking about.
All right, well, first in the primary, it was disproportionately a far left vote, a younger vote.
Fine.
Anti-Israel.
But you had a chance one-on-one with this guy and he beat you.
Yes. One-on-one, there was a 3-way. If you took Curtis Sliwa out of the race...
7%.
7%, it's basically a dead tie. And if you take Curtis Sliwa out of the race, I would have beaten him because Sliwa was attacking me every day as a sideshow on the debate stage, Bill. I think it's objectively fair to say on the debate stage, I beat Zohran clearly, but you then had Curtis who would come to his defense. Right. One-on-one, I would have beaten him.
But you should have beaten him 4-on-1.
In the primary.
No, in a major election. I mean, you're a 3-term governor. Your legacy is your father was a moderate Democrat icon. I went through my correspondence last night. I have 2 letters from your father. And he was very astute in politics. And I was wondering what Mario would have thought about a communist beating his son for the mayoral.
Yeah, Bill, this is
crazy.
This is a different Democratic Party.
So all these people who used to be moderates are all crazy socialists now?
You now have, well, look, you never had the word socialist, right? 10 years ago, nobody was a socialist.
Debs.
Yeah, that's right. Nobody was a socialist. Zohran shows up at the May Day rally as a communist.
He's a communist. There's no doubt he is.
So this never existed before. You have a whole generation of young people who are socialists/communists.
How did they get that way?
Recently, in reaction to Trump, Bernie Sanders, AOC, No Kings rallies, all across the country, getting hundreds of thousands of young people engaged. And then these false promises. Free everything. Free buses, freeze the rent, free food, everything free, and this sense of indignation and social justice, no kings, do away with the billionaires, tax the rich.
And they buy all this? Are they stupid?
They are young and they buy it. They are young and they buy it.
You were young. I was young. I never bought it. I knew what communism was from the jump.
Yeah, well, it sounds good. Everything, you're going to freeze my rent? Great. Free buses? Great. Free grocery stores? Great. Tax the rich? Yeah. Screw the rich, you know. They're rich. I'm not. So it sounds good. And you had a disproportionately, these young people voted in massive numbers, and they're very organized. There's a lot of money behind this far left movement.
Who is this Soros money, these guys?
This is Soros et al.
Do you know why a guy like Soros, who lives in Westchester, fairly near where you once lived, and has got all the money he could possibly have, why does he want a communist nation? Do you know?
This is his philosophy, has been for a long time.
But you never talked to him about it?
No.
Because this guy did a lot of damage. Now, you worked Secretary of HUD for Bill Clinton.
Yep.
You say Bill Clinton pretty astute politician?
I think he was great president, great politician.
Okay. So I talked to him a number of times, and the guy knows politics inside and out. Okay. I was surprised that a guy like him, maybe Hillary, others, Barack Obama, didn't come to your aid when the far left of your own party attacked you here. Letitia James, Hochul, the governor. Your own people took you out. But we didn't hear from the other people who knew you and knew what your public service record was. Were you surprised?
Look, if you want loyalty in politics, get a dog, right? Is the old expression. First, many of them did. Bill Clinton supported me in the mayoral election. And you're right, I was HUD secretary. I was with him from day one to the last day of his administration. And we did great work for this country. But it's back to the first point. The far left, Me Too movement, there was a lot of energy around the Me Too movement. Nobody wanted to stand up to Me Too. And the far left of the party wanted me out.
Why?
Because I was not far left enough, which is ironic, by the way, because all my life, I'm too liberal, right? I'm first big state to pass marriage equality. New York, highest minimum wage in the United States of America. New York, best gun law in the nation. New York. I'm too liberal all my life, but they are then so extreme that I am not left enough.
Okay, so you just didn't toe, but Hochul, she's whatever it is on Thursday. I mean, right? Hochul's not an ideologue. I don't see Letitia James, absolutely. But Hochul is like, and you made Hochul.
Hochul was my lieutenant governor. Yes. I told her that I was going to run again, and I was not going to run her again as lieutenant governor.
That's what did it, huh?
That didn't help. But she was a conservative Democrat.
Yeah, Erie.
From Erie County, Buffalo. Right. She was against driver's licenses for immigrants. Elliot Spitzer proposed immigrant driver's licenses, which we wound up doing years later. But she, as a Democrat, stood up against the Democratic governor and said she refused, and if any immigrant walked in, she would call the customs police, the immigration police. So she was a very conservative Democrat.
But now she's not.
Now she's hugging Mamdani.
Right.
Right? Why? Well, maybe she did a 180-degree philosophical change. Yeah, or maybe the moderates are afraid of the far left, and she didn't want a primary. So you placate the far left.
Yeah, the guy, the lieutenant governor, was going to primary her if she didn't stay in line.
That's right.
Okay. I got the fear element. Now, with your law enforcement background, I mean, you're Attorney General of New York. You know what you're talking about as far as crime and punishment. I was surprised you didn't stand up against the no bail laws as much as you could have. You signed it. What's that all about?
Well,
don't we punish violent criminals anymore here?
Yeah, the no bail law is not actually a no bail law. The law I proposed was subject to judicial discretion, because let's go back to our
judicial discretion. You know how many loons there are sitting on a bench in the city?
Yeah, but you're accused of a crime. You're just accused.
Yeah,
no one has found you guilty of anything.
Right.
You go before a judge. He sets bail. The only people who wind up going to Rikers and not making bail
are the
poor people. You could sit in Rikers, Bill, for 2 years before you're ever heard, before you're ever before a judge, and you've never been found guilty of anything. So now, what is the
Well, you could
reverse?
have done a speedy trial law. You could have done a whole bunch.
We have
of things.
speedy trial laws, but the court system is backed up, etc. So what's the inverse? If you're dangerous, then we're going to hold you, and that's...
But they don't hold them.
Well, that's judicial discretion. I wanted the judicial discretion.
But you knew the chaotic situation of the jurist population in New York. Everybody knows it. You got the poor guy pushed in front of the subway train from a 4-time violent offender because a judge let him out in the Bronx just last week.
Yeah, but that is judges not doing their job, right? Many states have judicial discretion.
They don't do their job.
Yeah, but you can't then say, Bill, so what's the inverse? What's the solution? As soon as you're accused, you go to jail and you wait 2 years, maybe you have a trial, or you wait 2 years and really what you have to do.
So this was a poor fairness basic bill.
Yeah, because there is basic due process still. And we wind up with a system where we just imprisoned anyone accused.
Not anyone. Violent crimes. Hard to get into the system in New York with Alvin Bragg and these people, and you know them. It's hard to get into the system.
Well, that has gotten worse.
He does not prosecute crimes. It's up to 65%.
Yeah, that has gotten worse.
Now, COVID. You and Trump are buddies. You're pals, saying good things about each other, getting a boat in here that nobody ever used. All right, docking the boat over there. Trump moved on up. You still friends?
COVID, look, Donald Trump and I go way back to Queen's days.
Sure.
And he was we went back and forth on COVID. We had our differences, there's no doubt. I would do a morning briefing. He'd do
But
an
you were
evening briefing.
respectful.
Yes. Yes. And he did aid New York. And New York was ground zero. You know, COVID, we're listening to this now, hantavirus on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
I tell you, I have PTSD from COVID, and I hear about this hantavirus, and it reminds me of COVID. Because COVID was here for months, and we never knew. If you remember what happened, COVID came to California. We're all looking at California and the state of Washington. And we said, oh, it came from China, and it went to California. No, it didn't. It went from China to Europe. Europe got on a plane, came to New York.
But the bigger picture is this. You and President Trump worked together in a respectful way.
Yes.
Could that happen today?
Plus or minus. Yes. Yes.
You have no beef with him?
No.